Hello, everyone. Rosemarie McKinnon here from IG Wealth Management. Today, we're going to continue with my Sudden Wealth series, talking about impacts of sudden wealth on your life and your finances. Today, I thought we'd talk about something exciting, which is selling of a property or selling of a business. Okay. Now, both of those things are very, very personal. And, because they represent your life's work, a person's life's work, a person's home that they lived, raised their family. So both of those subjects are very personal. So we'll tackle them one at a time. So let's start with sale of a business. So imagine a person has worked their life building up a business, and they've reached an age now where they're ready to slow down. Maybe it's their 60s or 70s, and they've done a really good job and are very proud of the business that they built. But now it's time for them to take a step back and enjoy their life a little bit more, and not think about work and business so much. So, it takes a lot of planning and, reviewing what it is that you want, because now your life is going to change. And, as a result of selling this business that, is worth millions, now suddenly you have that huge influx of financial equity, financial capital, and it's a very exciting time. It could be a little bit of a sad time, but again, when we're planning, we always start with the person's life and what is important to them now, what is in their deepest heart's core of what they want to do with their life. Perhaps it's spending more time with their grandchildren, traveling to places that they didn't get a chance to before because they were working so hard, and just kind of sitting back and just relaxing and just taking life day to day and being in the moment and not always having to think so far ahead and not having so much responsibility. So that's kind of where we start in the planning process, is again just starting with the person, starting with their life and what it is that you want to do, now that you never have to worry or think about money again, now and in the future. And then you add to that, being that it could be later in someone's life. We don't have as many years ahead of us, unfortunately, as we had behind us. So let's make sure that we prioritize those things that are in your deepest heart's core as far as what you want to achieve. And then when we put together your financial plan, we make sure that we take care of all of those things, that you have an income stream, you have financial security, we talk about your legacy and what you want to leave behind to your dearest family, and that's pretty much how we go about starting the discussion and the planning, the financial plan and the investment plan when someone sells a business. And next is also selling of property, whether that's a person selling their primary home. A lot of people, as they get older, they decide they don't want to shovel snow anymore. They don't want to take care of a big garden and a big lawn anymore. So they want a simpler life, and they want to downsize and perhaps sell the large family home and have a condo, enjoy condo living. Again, that presents, some emotional decisions and letting go of the place, the container where you watched your children grow up, and maybe you had the little markings on the wall of how they grew over the years, and it can be really tough letting go of the family home. but you know that you're doing it for a good reason. You know it's a good time to downsize. I mean, real estate is at an all-time high. People are getting way over asking price for their homes, like not just tens of thousands, but in some instances, 100,000 or more over asking price. So it's a crazy time. It's an amazing time to be selling a property and then, choosing where you want to live. And in a lot of instances, there's money left over. So you can have a place paid for, whether it's still in the city where you live, or perhaps it's in a place that's a lower cost of living, perhaps somewhere out east. I know a lot of people are going east. So there's now you have a property paid for, and you have a huge lump sum of money that you can pull an income from and make that part of your retirement paycheck. So that's very exciting. And also, there are people that had a secondary recreational property like a cottage, and again, maybe the legacy isn't to pass it on to the kids. Maybe the kids don't want it. I don't know why they wouldn't want it, but I have heard sometimes that the kids decide that no, they're not interested in staying or being at the cottage, or the work that goes along with having and keeping a cottage, because they are a lot of work. But again, or people decide to move into their cottages if they're winterized and sell the family home and decide to live in the cottage instead, and just go down to one property. So in a situation like that, you have to watch the capital gains rules, because we know we have a hopefully for a while we keep that capital gains exemption for primary residence, because that's the one time that the government lets us sell a huge asset and not have to pay any capital gains taxes on it. You can imagine someone that's had their house for 30 or 40 years and perhaps bought it in the hundreds of thousands and are now selling it at well over $1 million. So you're talking like a $900,000 capital gain. And thankfully, we don't have to pay any tax on that. So you really want to make sure before you decide which property you're going to sell, which makes sense to designate as your primary residence, and so make sure that you don't have a big tax bill to pay. So again, lots to consider when selling a business and selling a property, and that's the kind of thing that I like to do to help people with. And if you're interested in talking to me more about your personal situation, if you're thinking of selling your business or a property and wondering how it's going to impact you financially, I'm here to help. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now.